So, last night, I had an experience that I can't explain, and honestly, I'm not even sure I want to. I feel like I need to write this down before my brain convinces me it didn't happen. It started with me booking a last-minute ticket on an overnight train. I was traveling to a small town about 6 hours away for work, and driving just wasn't an option. I'd been up all day, and was already half dead from exhaustion. The train was mostly empty when I boarded, which I thought was odd for this time of year. But I wasn't going to complain about having space to stretch out. Things started to feel off almost immediately. The train car was dimly lit, much darker than usual, and the air smelled stale, like a room that hadn't been aired out in years. The few passengers scattered around the car were eerily silent. Most of them just stared straight ahead, their faces pale and slack, as if they were deep in thought, or asleep with their eyes open. I chalked it up to me being tired, but something about them put me on edge. As we started moving, I noticed other strange details. The train didn't have the usual low hum of conversation, or the sound of phones and rustling bags. It was almost unnaturally quiet. When I looked out the window, it felt like the scenery was passing by too quickly, like the train was speeding unnaturally fast. I told myself it was just my imagination and tried to sleep. But I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. That's when I noticed the man sitting diagonally across from me. He was staring directly at me, his head tilted slightly to the side. His face was gaunt, his skin so pale it almost looked gray. His eyes didn't seem to blink. I gave him an awkward nod, hoping he'd look away, but he didn't. Instead, he smiled a wide, unnatural smile that stretched across his face, but didn't reach his eyes. I decided to move to another car. As I walked down the aisle, I realized everyone looked like him. Lifeless faces, glassy stares, and that same unnerving smile. I picked up my pace, feeling like I had stepped into some kind of surreal nightmare. When I reached the door to the next car, I turned back briefly and saw all their heads slowly turn to watch me leave. The next car was empty, but the unease followed me. Something about the train felt wrong, like it wasn't supposed to be here. I debated getting off at the next stop, but then I realized I hadn't seen any stops. We'd been speeding through the night for hours, and there hadn't been a single station. That's when the lights in the car flickered and went out completely. The train screeched loudly, like the sound of metal tearing itself apart. In the flashes of light, I saw those passengers standing in the doorway of the car, staring at me with those grotesque smiles. They were moving toward me, slowly but deliberately. I panicked. Without thinking, I threw open a window and climbed out. The train was moving so fast that the wind nearly tore me off the side, but I didn't care. I couldn't stay in there. I jumped. The impact was brutal. I hit the ground hard, tumbling down an embankment and blacking out for who knows how long. When I came to, the train was gone. There were no tracks, no sign that it had ever been there. Shaking and battered, I made my way to the nearest town, where I ended up at a 24-hour diner. While I waited for a cab to pick me up, I overheard a group of locals talking about some local legend, a night train that disappeared decades ago, full of passengers who were never found. They said it was cursed, doomed to ride the tracks forever. I didn't say anything, but my blood ran cold. I looked it up when I got home, and sure enough, in 1963, a train vanished without a trace on the very route I was taking last night. I haven't slept since. All I can think about is the way those passengers looked at me, and how close I came to being one of them.